Hi everybody and welcome to this week's edition of Property Chat. It's scorching hot here, so apologies for the lack of a tie, but we decided ties off this week. 30 degrees is too much in an office. But England won, that's a good start. Hopefully next video they'll be winning again. Gosh, this weekend we won the football, the F1 and the cricket, never been known. This week we're talking to you about what you should do to prepare your home for sale for the first time. Stand by. Okay, so let's start with, I know many of you that have bought houses, people automatically think, well, you know, you've bought one so you know everything. But when it comes to selling, many of you say, well, I've never sold one before, so you know, where should we start? Which should we be looking at and what should we be considering? So the first thing is curb appeal. What I want you to do is look outside of your property and think about the first picture that is going to be used to sell it for the listings in Rightmove, Zoopla and the likes. So when you look at it, question, does it look appealing? Is that paint a little old? Could it do with a refresh? The front door, could that do with painting? What about putting some flowers outside? Because that first shot is crucial to getting the best what we call click-through rate. In other words, when people are hovering over you with their mouse together with a list of other properties there, are they going to click on yours? And a lot of that comes from the curb appeal. So think very carefully about the curb appeal of your house and make sure you maximize it in any way you can. That's number one. Number two, let's now move on to the interior. First thing about that is the obvious, declutter. If there are things you have in your house that are making it crowded, this can really take away the appeal. So make sure if you've got space anywhere else, like I'm thinking your shed perhaps some kitchen cupboards, perhaps some storage, perhaps a cellar, perhaps a loft even, perhaps even call it in from mum and dad and say, can we just borrow your space for a while so we can clear out the house and make it look more appealing for sale or indeed flat. So number one, declutter. Number two, think about the crucial areas for buyers. Now, normally the most crucial areas in a house that buyers are concerned with are number one, kitchen. So make sure above all else your kitchen is clean. That's number one. Number two, the bathroom. That's the second most important area. So make sure that's looking really good. And number three, make sure all windows are open, the place is aired if it's a sunny day. Even if it's a cold day, make sure you air the place so it doesn't feel stale when people walk in. I know people talk about coffee and baked bread. That's not necessary, but what is necessary is clean and fresh. So make sure to maximize your chances of getting that buyer, your house feels clean and fresh inside in terms of hoovering, vacuuming, obviously polishing, that sort of thing. I'm not suggesting you need to do absolutely everything to make it sort of now scissor perfect in every way, but just make sure that anything that you can impact on, you have. So get rid of those books on the side, clean up, let's have a good impact on people when they walk through the door. Finally, gardens. Think about your garden now. Obviously, for most of us, an outside space is why we're moving to a house. So the gardens are quite crucial. So look at your garden and think of lifestyle. So for instance, if you have a table and chairs that you haven't used this year yet, perhaps position them as though you were about to sit out there with a bottle of wine and chill out for the evening. And then look out, think about the aspect. You know, is the grass cut? Do those trees need a trim back? Does it all feel neat and tidy? Are the kids' bikes out there and in the way? Tuck them around the corner. That kind of thing. So that's in terms of the preparation of the house itself. Really important you get that right. Now on to stage two, and that is getting the valuations. We would suggest you get 3 agents round to look at your property. Select them in any way you feel comfortable. We favour looking at reviews on things like Google and All Agents. Once you've done that and you call the 3 agents round, then think about what they're saying to you. Many of them will have very clever systems of suggesting why they're the best in the area for one reason or another. You need to ask yourself the question, number one, do I really feel comfortable dealing with this person? Any good estate agent, you should feel like they've got your back and they're on your side. So make sure you've got an agent that you feel you can work with, because you will be working with them with your biggest asset. So really important that. Number two, consider the valuation. Highest valuation is not always the most honest agent. In fact, quite often it's the opposite. They're telling you a high figure in order to get you to sign their usually very long sole agency contract. So be really careful of that one. And do ask the question, if someone's giving you a very high valuation, how long is your contract? Because you will find those long contracts coincidentally tend to go with a very, very high valuation. That's no accident, I tell you that. So make sure you're dealing with somebody you're comfortable with, you like, the fees seem reasonable, and look at their presentation online. Look at their enthusiasm for you, your home, and for their business of selling houses. You know, do they seem confident? Are they the sort of people that you think will sell your house? Because I tell you now, in this market, you need an agent that's really pushing for you. It's not just a case of listing on Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market. It's more than that. It's about getting on the phones. It's about speaking to existing buyers. So make sure your agent's going to do that for you. So I hope that's been helpful. Any other questions you have, do as usual, drop us an email, call us, or indeed comment. We hope you share and like the video so others can enjoy. Thanks very much. Speak to you soon.